Hey, Dream Chasers, this is Aimee J, and thank you so much for tuning in to episode 261 of Chasing Dreams. Guys, it has been a year. We are halfway there. It is June, and I am like, where did the year go? Where did the year go? I feel like half of the year, half of the year, so a quarter of the year, for a few months, things have just not been great. I mean, personally, things have happened, lost people, and it just kind of put me in a space where I was not okay. And, you know, it just, I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel motivated. I didn't feel excited and happy, just my usual self, whatever that is. And so, you know, you've seen me probably scale back on social media a lot, kind of just going through the motions, thinking I had to do certain things. And so it was a weird space to be in for a few months. And I was talking to a friend and my therapist and figured out, part of it was creative burnout. Part of it was what was happening in my personal life, losing loved ones, all of that. And so I wanted to come on and kind of talk to you guys about the fact that we don't talk about not being okay. Nobody ever wants to talk about that life is hard sometimes and that we go through things. And then sometimes, some days, it's not roses. Some days are just molasses where you're trying to just walk through the day and it's so hard and it's not easy. And so, because we have done that, millennials, Gen X, Gen Z, and those folks think that's the same thing, right? I mean, they're learning from our example. They're learning from what they see in society and TV and culture and communities, etc. And I think therefore, they stop talking about not being okay because, God forbid, we talk about the fact that we're not okay. And so I just want to talk and let you guys know it's okay to not be okay. Frankly, I'd be surprised if you ever went a year and had a moment or a phase where you just weren't okay. It's normal. We all go through it. Some last longer, some are shorter than others, but we all go through a period or some time where we're just not okay. And it's okay to not be okay, right? That's the part I want to make sure you understand and you hear me about is if you need the permission to acknowledge it, if you need to hear me say it again, it's okay to not be okay. And I don't think we talk about that. We frankly, we don't. And so while I'm not a parent, I've seen and heard from other parents who feel that they cannot share or be not okay because they have kids. They have a spouse. They have a wife, a husband, a partner, and they can't afford to not be okay because there's so much pressure on them to take care of their family. And if they're not okay, then what does that mean? What is going to happen? You have to admit that you're not okay. That's what has to happen. Because if you go through your day not being okay, you are not being your genuine self. You are not being honest with the people around you, with your loved ones, those closest to you. Your kids see it and they're thinking, hey, I have to be okay because I can't, my dad or my mom have always been okay. They've always presented as being okay. And therefore, if I'm not okay, then there's something wrong with me. And there is not. Okay, that is not the message or the attitude to be showing the next generation. Show them that it's okay to not be okay. These are the things we have to talk about. These are the things that you have to say and the conversations that have to be had because, as I've said in previous episodes, because unfortunately it's true and it's not going away yet, is that depression and anxiety are up, especially in young people. Number of suicides is up, especially in young people. And unfortunately, it is non-discriminatory. It is across the board. All genders, all ages, cultures, whatever, however you identify, this is happening. And so it's important that we understand that it's okay to not be okay. Right? Regardless of your background, you may go through it. have that conversation, have that communication, talk about the fact, hey, mommy or daddy is not okay today. I need a mental health day, a mental health moment. Help them to understand that it's okay to be feeling weak. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel your feelings. And help normalize, the conversation around mental health so that they feel open to conversating with you. So that they know if they don't feel okay, 1, they can come to you. 2, it's normal. And 3, there's something that can be done about it. Right? So when we talk about it, we want to normalize it so that it's not such a forbidden topic. Right? As parents, you want to be seen as the hero, the one that takes care of everyone. But even the protectors need to be taken care of. Even the heroes need to be cared for. And so that's the thing. You guys are the heroes and the stars in your life story, but you too need to be cared for. And you're going to go to moments where you're going to say to yourself, I'm not okay. And I got to tell you, it's okay to not be okay. It is absolutely okay to not be okay, regardless of what anyone tells you. Let that sink in. Regardless of what anyone tells you, I don't care who they are, it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to say that out loud. Right? So keep that in mind, because that's something I think that we don't allow for, and it's something that we almost demonize, and don't do that. Don't do that. Right? So, as I think that's one thing I wish in America might be somewhere else, but I wish that employment, businesses gave not just vacation days, not just sick days, but actual mental health days. Because we often think that we can only take the sick days for when we're physically sick. But if you are mentally not in a good place, you know what, I just don't have it in me today to work, take a mental health day. Do that for yourself. And it should be in addition to the sick days, not in place of. So I wish that there was like at least one a quarter. At one a quarter, give them 4 mental health days and help them. There's a state in the U.S. that I don't know what state it is that has implemented, I think, mental health days for their students, which is a phenomenal thing to hear. It's amazing. I think more states need to do it. We need to be doing more proactive things for our kids, and giving them things like mental health days and talking about it, right? And making sure they understand if you're not okay, it's okay. There are things that can be done about it, right? So, what can you do about it, right? 1, acknowledge it. It's okay to not be okay. Say that, accept it, acknowledge it. Because once you do that, number 2 is understanding that this too shall pass. That feeling of not being okay won't last forever. Some may last a little bit longer than others, but it doesn't matter. What you're going through is what you're going through. That's what we're focusing on, but it will pass. It will pass. And in episode, I think it was like 257, I talked about how you guys can do hard things, and it's true. You can do hard things and you can get through this. Okay. So keep that in mind. Keep that in your heart, top of mind. It's okay to not be okay, and that this won't last long. You will get through it. It may not be easy, but you can do it. 100%. I believe that. Number 3, we got to work on getting out of that space. What is it that's making you not okay? What can we do about it? Is it toxicity in your life? Is it people who shouldn't be there? People who are bringing you down? Oftentimes people have toxic people in their life who are close to them, and they don't realize it, or they feel that they can't do anything about it because these people have been in their life. They are their best friends. They are family sometimes. And I have to tell you, it's okay to let go of toxic people. It may not be easy. I'm not saying it's easy. I acknowledge the fact that it's probably some work, but you can let go of toxic people, especially if it's hurting you, especially if it's impacting you and those around you, right? Someone tweeted something recently, and I can't remember who it was. I saw it passing by, scrolling or whatever, and it was, sometimes it's important to remember that everything is made up. Right? Sometimes it's important to remember that everything is made up. People who used to say that the family structure is a mom and a dad, a son and a daughter, and a dog. That's the family unit. Come on now. What? That is no longer the family unit. We made that up as the family unit. That's not it. Look to your left, look to your right. Family units are defined so differently today. So if you have to let go of a toxic member of your family, let them go. It's okay. People who tell you to hold on to them, don't do it. You don't have to. It's, again, not easy. You may have to step away. You may have to move. You may have to, I don't know, do something, but it's okay. That was just the family unit thing is an example of something that's made up. The fact that you have to hold on to that your family is made up of people who are blood related to you, that's not true either. Family is how you define it, right? And all of these things, right? So get rid of toxic people. Figure out what is it that's holding you back. Is it your work? Is it stress? Have a conversation with your boss. I'm not going to be able to come up with every single possibility, but you have to look into yourself, take some time, and figure out what is it that's bothering you? What is holding you back? Why are you feeling the way you do? What are the triggers for you? And most importantly, you can get help. Therapy has been an amazing investment for myself. It is something I needed. It is something that has helped. And, I don't see my therapist every week. I don't see them. We met regularly in the beginning, and then she gave me tools and things to help. Now we touch base once every month, 2 months to check in. But, there are resources available for you to get help. So do that. Find help. And if you're not sure where to start with your doctor. Start with your doctor and have a conversation. I need some help with my mental health. Where can I go? What can I do? Talk to your insurance company. There's definitely a long way to go for getting help with mental health in insurance and the like. But for now, start with them as resources, right? Google people in your area. Talk to those who are not toxic in your family. Get their opinion, get their thoughts, get help. Right? But you can get through it. There are levels to not being okay. Some things can be solved easily. Some things not so much, but you got to figure out what that is and how that works. Okay. So you do that, you figure that out, and take that action. That's number 4. Take action to whatever it is that you need. Work on getting better and out of the space of not okayness. Take it one day at a time. And if you need to, take it 1 hour at a time. And if you need to, 1 minute at a time. One action at a time. See how there are all those options? It's different for everybody. Figure out what it is for you. But take it one thing at a time and go from there. What is your next step? What is the next thing you need to do? And focus on that. Okay? So, as a reminder, your life is your life. You have to figure it out. You define it. But what you do impacts those around you. If you have kids, it impacts them. If you are the guardian of others, it impacts them. Family, it impacts them. And I'm not saying that you have to make decisions based on that, but know that what you do is an example to others. It is proof of you living your life the way you want it. Right? When I started podcasting, people were like, what? Yeah, it's been life-changing to me, but people can't believe I did that. You can do it too. You can do anything you set your mind to. There is everything, like I said, sometimes it's important to remember that everything is made up. There is no such thing that you can't do what you want to do. Right? If you are a woman who wants to be, a construction worker, go for it. A woman who wants to be a truck driver, go for it. There are people doing it already. I think NASCAR had the first female pit crew person recently, right? Break the barriers. You can do what you want. If you are a male who wants to be a makeup artist, go for it. There's so many people doing it. Don't let society and the definitions they put up and made up stop you. Live your life. Identify and figure out what it is for you. Do that, because this is so important. It's okay to not be okay. And you can figure out how to get past that. But whatever you do, live the life that you want to live and not the one that others people want you to live. Okay? And so that okayness, and the fact that you're not doing okay may not be across all the levels and areas of your life, areas of wellness. It might just be in parts of it, right? Maybe it's just your mental health. Maybe it's your physical health. Maybe it's your financial health. Maybe it's your relationships with others. Maybe it's your environment, your work, your home. Right? There are so many different things. You just got to look into it and figure it out slowly. And so we're going to talk more about areas of your life and wellness with time. But for now, know that it's okay to not be okay and work on figuring it out. How can you get past that and through that? Because you can do hard things. And whatever you do, guys, remember, you are awesome. You are loved. You are needed. And most importantly, you are enough just the way you are, as you are. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. All right? Okay, you can find all the show notes on this episode over at aimeej21.com/episode 261. That's episode 261. And until next time, Dream Chaser, remember, don't stop. Keep chasing.